Hello everybody and welcome to Gound of Aces. This is a base builder game where you play as the RAF. It's a very new game. It's early access. I've played it for a little bit now. There's a new update that's going to be coming out soon, so I figured why not get at this game while it's still fresh. And yeah. We're going to try doing this map here. But on a different save, or not a different save, on a new game completely. So let's go ahead and get into that. I'm gonna turn this music down. It's really loud. Oh my goodness. Now, one thing about this map is that the aircraft they actually take off in certain directions. They'll take off either this way if the from here to here if the airfield starts here, and they'll take off from here to here if the airfield starts here. They'll always go the same directions no matter which way they're pointing. So you really got to look into that whenever you're placing your fucking airfields, because if you don't, whenever it's time for your aircraft to come and scramble because there's enemy fighters coming, you'll have to they probably won't make it to their target, honestly. But let's see what we got here. But the really difficult thing about that is all your supplies get dropped off right here every week. So if your aircraft and main base are down here, that's gonna put a lot of fucking exhaustion on your own men. We got our trucks with our supplies and our truck with our people in it. How many people we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, we got 8 people. That's not bad. I think you can actually change the amount of people. Go ahead, pause it real quick. You can actually change the amount of people right before you do the game. The amount of supplies you get, all that stuff. The amount of times you will get air raided and such and such. So last time, which I didn't record, I started out over here, my main stuff being over here. My airfield's going that way, and level 1 airfield's going this way. By the way, the level of airfields are very important. Runways are very important. But that was a little too far away for everybody. So I think I'm going to start a little bit closer. Yeah. I'm gonna start a little bit closer to our area here, and have our runway start here, and then a runway going that way and that way. All right, so yep, I know how to use the building tool, but I'll show you guys how to use it real quick. So you have 4 different materials real quick. Y'all have rubber, wood, brick, and cement. Now, obviously, rubber is has the least durability. I don't know if they added durability into the game for the materials yet, but I assume they will at some point. And rubber, you can make it out of thin air. Once you get a tailoring spot, you can just make that stuff out of thin air. But I actually forgot. You actually really do want to start with your beds first. Like, if your people sleep on the ground, they will not be happy. They don't care if they sleep outside or anything like that. Just make sure you start with that. Start with their beds first. And that's 4 there. Put 4 here. Get a little barracks going. And then for the future, these will be for beds in the future. For people we get, because we'll need a lot of people to run an air base. Right now it's just an airfield. Oh no, I do not want. I don't know why I did that. Why did I do that? How do I cancel? Cancel that. Okay, cool. Now we got these beds set. They'll probably start building them right away. Yeah, there they go. They have some rations over here. Rations run out pretty quick depending on how many people you got. Go ahead and harvest this wheat here and these mushrooms. These mushrooms, they can be used as food. There are also berry bushes, but I don't really use berry bushes too often. I don't really even know what they look like, quite honestly. Get some of this water here, some of these mushrooms, and start harvesting some of these trees here, because you will run out of wood quick. Almost just about most things here take wood. And if you want to build everything out of rubber, that's cool. It's a lot easier to make. It's a lot easier to get. Let's meet our people real quick. Who's this guy right here? Tuner. There's a guy, Lawrence Tuner here. He's our field engineer. Joffrey Bates. We're just gonna call you Bates. He's our cook. We have another engineer, Desmond. I like Desmond. Look at that mustache. This brown beady eyes. Jesus. Who we got here? Our fucking lumberjack over here. We got a laborer. Georgie? I really am really bad at spelling names. Or not spelling names, reading names. Jesus. Oh, this guy looks cool. This guy's our medic. Gallagher. Williams. He is also a field mechanic. Alright. Speaking when it comes to roles, go ahead and look at our crew real quick. Pause that. And assign by assignment, we have cook, field medic, field engineer, RAF medic, and a AAF laborer. So obviously your cook, he cooks, he maintains crops and stuff like that. They have priorities here for work. Now your field mechanics, they maintain your aircraft, which is a very important thing. If you send an aircraft out there to do a mission with not enough fuel, it won't come back. Or with no ammo, it might not come back either. These guys maintain, fuel, and arm y'all's aircrafts. So these guys are important. And field engineers, they're almost just as important as these guys. These guys, they essentially build everything. Now, everyone can do building, pilots, air crew, and all that stuff. Everyone can do everything, really. It's just, I do believe there is a skill set that certain people have. Now, your medic, I really haven't used the medic yet. I haven't got into the what I would say the healthcare system part of this game yet, which I didn't know that. I just discovered I could do that in my last game, and in the next update they should be updating that, so that will be way more developed in the future. There'll be nurses and there'll be hospital tents and stuff like that. So, and then we have our laborers, not really as important as our field engineers and field mechanics, but you can't understate them at all, because they are the ones that do your main hauling from place to place. They're the ones who bring the builders and the field mechanics their materials at job sites and such. Now, the field mechanics and engineers do that too. That's why the laborers are not so needed, but the laborers also do a more variety of things, such as they can also do maintenance on fucking what is this? Oh no, crafting. They can do crafting, not maintenance. They can do crafting. They could do fucking gardening. They can do labor, harvest. Like, their main thing is the harvest. And they do a lot of moving around. So you need to make sure those guys are well rested at all times. So let's get back to this. Let's go ahead and fast forward here through this. Let's go ahead and get a floor going. We'll get a rubber floor. Now, you want to make sure you leave enough room for you to place other things, because other things that you put inside these people's stuff will help their mood. Their mood is very important for their job. I need an even number, and I will show you just why in a second. It's kind of important that for the tactic that I use when it comes to roofing, that you have an even number for your doesn't matter if we, okay, it's not an even number. Well, this is gonna bother my OCD a little bit, but I'll just put another set of beds in. Alright, now that should be an even number. Oh goodness, this music. Okay, I said I was gonna turn that shit down. Options. Music. I know it's not. I don't like the music, but oh my goodness, it's loud. So the reason I need it even to do the roofing is because if your roof gets hit with a bomb, the entire thing collapses. So you actually want to be able to do 2 roofs. If you do 2 roofs, then only one of the roofs will collapse. Oh, I did that the wrong fucking way. Okay, hold on. Am I doing it the same way I was just doing it? Hold on, wait. Yeah, I am. Jesus. Put your shit together, Cross. Alright, add 6. Alright. Now we got 2 roofs. Alright, now we want to add in doors and windows. Make sure you guys are able to see outside because, you know, being able to see outside is good for their mental health. Alright, so I am going to fast forward this so they can build this up. I'll probably also do some plane building, but I'll make sure you guys are able to see, not plane building, some airfield building. So you guys, I'll make sure you guys are able to see that though. Oh, and also one more thing I forgot to mention. There are working hours that you can change in your scheduling here. You have leisure. Your leisure is kind of important. And this is not enough sleep for your people. That's only 5 hours of sleep a day. So what you want to do is go ahead, give them more sleep, more leisure hours, and that will help your working force out a lot better. I always put leisure at 2100 because most air raids happen at 2100, and most of your people will be coming back to do their leisurely activities, and they'll be able to man the guns around the area. They won't be somewhere all the way across the map trying to harvest that one piece of wheat you told them to harvest 3 months ago. All right, now they're up. They're getting back to work. They're getting food. Oh no, I'm like I said, they're in leisure. Now they're at work. And look at them go. They are working their little tails off to get this going. So we'll probably be getting our first mission soon. Let's go ahead and slow down the speed so we can work at getting our runway working. That's the name of the game here. Is airplanes. So let's make this. This is gonna be our main runway. This is where everything's gonna happen. This will be our main runway going all the way down this one little area right here. But we're gonna start off. Actually, let me start over here because this is gonna be. I like this map because you need sand to make level 2 runways, and the ground's already sand, so you don't have to worry about that until you start getting into here, and you have to start removing dirt. But we will make a level 1 runway over here for your other aircraft. So like I was saying earlier, if you on this map, right? No, I don't want that to be dirt. I'll just put that sand. If you want your aircraft to be able to get off the ground quickly, and you will if you get attacked during an air raid, you got to make sure you know which way your aircraft are pre-designated to take off from. So on this map, they're pre-designated to take off in that direction if they're going north and south, if the runway is going north and south. If they're going east and west, they're designated to take off from this direction. All right, so you want to make sure you want to put your aircraft right next to the runway where they're going to be taking off. And not just right next to the runway where they'll be taking off, right next to the runway, right next to the part of the runway they'll be taking off from. So let's go ahead, get a second strip going here. And this is going to be our level 2 strip. And it's only going to stay level 2 for now. Eventually we're going to upgrade it to level 3. It'll be level 3 is like like about that length. Right, actually, it tells you right here on the right side. Tells you right over here. Remove that. I do not want to do too much removing because we only got 8 guys. We only have 8 guys. A lot for 8 guys to be building a tent over here and then removing these giant ass boulders. You got to be realistic with your demands with them because they will get tired. If they collapse, they won't be able to do any work. And then whenever it goes to leisure time, no one's going to be doing any work, and you lost the man's day of work. So you need to make sure you have the width right and the runway type right. Now that's sand, and now they are going to clear this. Mostly laborers would come out and clear this. Now you can prioritize them to clear certain things so we can get this underway faster. And now that we got them working on that, let's get them a parking space. Now we actually need wooden planks to do that, and we actually don't have any. So let's go ahead and get that going. Okay. You want to go over to workbenches. Now this is where all your crafting happens. Everything, all your crafting. Here's your tailor station. That is how you make more tarp for these kind of things here, which we'll need here soon. But some stations need to be placed inside, like the tailor station or the fucking metal press. But your saw station does not need to be placed outside, and that can be made with logs. Your logs, you get those from trees. But it's really good that the thing you can get from the map is essentially the base thing you need. And I completely forgot to do this earlier. I can't believe I forgot to fucking do this. You need a storage area. If you don't store your things in a storage area in a designated spot where you're gonna build a storage area later, you'll need a roof and walls and all that good stuff. And I think I'm gonna put what is that? No, that's expand. I need make. Yeah. No. Storage area. I need that here. Got it. Now go down to the bottom. All right, trash should already be removed, and you want a separate one for trash. So we're gonna put trash behind the woods here. And let's go ahead, make that trash. All right, deselect everything and then make that trash. Yeah, let's do that. So that I don't forget, we need to make a field kitchen. Yeah, you have 2 different kinds of kitchens. You have field kitchens and indoor kitchens. And let's put it next to the saw station so they can get all that good sawdust and all that taste from the wood in there. All right. Now, that should be the way things should be going so far. Everything's going good so far. Alright, and I think the last thing I'm going to do for this video is show you how to make a gardening zone. Now, the gardening zone is very important because you have 2 different kinds of gardening zones. You have seeding gardening zones and food gardening zones. Now, the seeding ones, they create more seeds for your food because you don't reap seeds from... Oh, what's that? It's nothing important. You need the seeds to make more food, blah, blah, blah. And whenever you harvest wheat from food growing zones, you don't actually get any seeds back for them. So you need 2 separate ones. And preferably, you want your seeding one to be bigger than your food one. And that's about a decent size right there. Make that our seeding. Got it. We'll get about 460 grain seeds from that. And always start with your seeding first. Never do the food first, because then all the seeds will go there, and then you'll have to find more seeds, and it'll just be a constant agonizing process. Yeah, we'll make our food gardening here. And you actually do get a lot of food from this, and it's very helpful because the more you upgrade your kitchen, the more food you will get to make. Right? The more food you will be able to make. You also need water for making meals and stuff like that. So make sure you have a water source nearby, like these springs here. You see now they've moved all of their stuff, all the stuff here. we're gonna start building this stuff in the next episode. So, yeah, I'll see you later.